Evening, friends. For a change, the market was up today. This is despite so much tariff which has happened yesterday and today morning when the president was making a statement 9 p.m. in the US, and it was a morning market, and yet market moved up. Now the question comes to mind, why is that so? You talked about India tariff, and I'm going to discuss that. And in case if I forget, please remind me if I forget that during question and answer. So today I'm going to present some interesting data points. Also, I'm going to discuss about what are the things that you should be focusing from here on. Okay, and what should be a strategy in this market to play, because the psychology is a function of what happened in the recent past. Last 2 months में market खराब हो गया. Everyone seems to be started turning little bearish in the market. And I always believe and I always realize and learn in my career that when more people are bearish on the market, it's a good time to get bullish on the market. If people give you 10 reasons why market should go down, I'll feel very happy. If someone gives me 15 reasons, I'll feel delighted. And someone gives me 100 reasons why market will go down, I will be excited to a great extent. So when I talk to people and people justify why market should go down, I only smile and I feel happy. Why? Because then it gives me confidence that we are very close to the bottom, if not at the bottom. Today I was on CNBC Bazaar and I was making a statement that don't try to time the market to the perfection. कि bottom हो जाएगा और bottom भाव में मैं लेने वाला हूँ, if you're able to do it not because of your skill, because of your luck. Otherwise, if you don't know what your luck is, that's what exactly I stated in CNBC Bazaar channel today. You invest 10 lakhs, mentally be prepared that 10 lakhs will go to 9 lakhs or 8 lakhs. The same money, despite going to 90, 80, whatever the level it goes to, could be 150 by March 2026. Now, problem क्या है? नुकसान किसी को देखना नहीं है, सबको मुनाफा चाहिए. I wish that is practical, that is possible. Unfortunately, it is not in real life. And that's what we need to all understand. These are basics of stock market investment. कि downside लेना नहीं है, देखना नहीं है, upside ही चाहिए, which is practically not possible. So let's start with the presentation. With a disclaimer, this webinar is just to enhance your understanding about the equity market. Please consult your financial advisor before buying and selling any stock. Investment securities market are subject to market risk and past performance, no indicator of future returns. Now, if you look at it, Indian market, we saw bad sentiment in the month of Jan. It got extended in the month of Feb too. Of course, the first few days of March, what is the date today? First 5 days of March has not been so great. And of course, we'll discuss that in the month of April. But Nifty 100, which consists of large cap, was down by 7% almost. But there was a carnage in the mid and small cap. Why I'm using the word carnage? For the very simple reason, in 1 month, the BSE mid cap index was down by 10.5% and almost 14% with BSE small cap. Normally, we expect this kind of gain to be made in 1 year. और वो एक ही महीने में चला जाता है, तो you can understand. When the index is down by 14-15%, then you can imagine what carnage would have done to the companies, because index cannot fall by 5% in a single day. It can actually, but no, it doesn't happen. Company can fall by 10% also in a single day. Am I right? So that's what will happen in the market in the month of Feb. Very obvious when there is a carnage, when medium small caps are down in double digits, large caps are down in 6-7%. We don't expect advance decline ratio to be healthy. And that's exactly what happened in terms of advance decline ratio. Those investors, and in fact something similar, I made a statement today on CNBC Bazaar that previously वो 100 रुपया था तो 110 रुपया सोच रहा था मार्केट में डालने के लिए, the investors. Today some kind of a what we call adjustment has been done by the retail investors. अभी 100 रुपया है तो वो 80 रुपया ही डाल रहे हैं मार्केट में, 20 रुपया बैंक एफडी में डालेगा, सेविंग्स में डाल रहा है. Because that investors are seeing that pain in the portfolio, and when the sentiments goes down, normally the volume declines, and that's exactly what happened in the market. So we were at once upon a time 1.5 lakh crore daily cash volume on the NSE, and consistently we are below 1 lakh crore, and of course I'll show the data in my subsequent slide. FPI continued selling. Only solace we can take, and of course I lost that bet in case those who wish to know that, because I was expecting FPI to turn positive in the month of Feb. It did not happen. The only solace that we can take is that the outflow was almost half of what it was there in the month of Jan. But despite that, in last 5 months, that's ended Feb, they sold almost 2 lakh crore, more than 2 lakh crore. Very substantial amount they sold in the equity market. If you look at the data points, I think FPI right now are underweight on the Indian market. Even if they become equal weight, the flow can come. I'm not talking about overweight right now. Even if they become equal weight, we should expect flow coming in. Budget got announced, the first proper budget, because the last time the budget came in the month of immediately after the election, so they did not have a good time to prepare for the budget. But this time, that's sufficient time to make the budget. No change in the capital gain, which was one fear. A rebate of 1 lakh crore has been given to the taxpayers by virtue of increasing the limit to 12 lakh, where no tax would be payable. But market did not like the budget. Or there were other factors which hijack the budget discussion. I think the month of Feb was tariff. There are so many things which has happened, but investors don't know. Because we are all obsessed with and I'll give you some positive thing which is happening in the market. But हमारा ध्यान ही नहीं गया उस तरफ. क्यों? एक तो फियर है. पॉजिटिव क्या है उस पर किसी को सुनने की जरूरत नहीं, बिकॉज एवरीवन माइंड इज बिकम लिटिल बेरिश. आदमी नेगेटिव ही ज़्यादा सोचने लगा है, बिकॉज समवेयर दैट रिसेंसी बायस इज स्क्रिप्टेड. तो कोई चीज अच्छी हो जाए उसको हम लोग नजरअंदाज करें, consciously or subconsciously. Nothing wrong with that. But that's exactly what has happened. I'll give you some data points. And of course, how many of you know that rupee has appreciated against the dollar in last 1 month? How many of you know that crude oil price, which was $80 per barrel, has now come down to $70 per barrel for Indian basket? $10 in 2 months is a too big a number. And in fact, crude Indian basket is at 52-week low. पता ही नहीं हमें. Somewhere in the good market, that 1 lakh crore rebate that is coming in would have been market would have cheered that numbers. 1 lakh crore is not a small amount, and this is recurring year after year now. अभी कोई फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर की ताकत नहीं है, दम नहीं है कि उसको लेके जाए. उससे वो इंक्रीज कर सकता है. 12 can become 15 lakh going forward. But 12 lakh is not going to become 10 lakh. There is a permanent rebate given to the taxpayer. You don't want to celebrate it. I really appreciate retail investors. Why I'm saying so really appreciate, because they have shown great amount of a maturity. The data is still not available for the month of Feb. That will come by 10th or so. But despite Jan was so much bad month, almost 40,000 crore net inflow came into the equity mutual fund. And that shows the level of maturity our retail investors have shown. Instead of going out of the market, they've seen, of course, we will come to know what happened in the month of Feb. I've been informed there have been some amount of redemption pressure. I have no idea, because when you talk to a couple of people, they put, the AMC level problem could be. It may not be the industry level problem. They will come to know. SEBI got a new chairman, Tuhin Kanta Pandey. This gentleman has managed the investment and hence understand the market. And he has come at a time when there is a lot of volatility in the market. So let's hope that in this term of 3 years, he brings not only instill more confidence in the retail investors, but make the Indian market more strong and resilient of the global shocks. Let's switch gear from markets to the economy. RBI finally did the rate cut of 25 bips, and we have been kept saying in 2024 only the first rate cut will come post budget, and that's exactly what has happened. 25 bips rate cut. Another good thing, which is increases the prospects for further rate cut, is that retail inflation has come down to 4.31, which is a 5-month low. We had seen January collection was strong, as so is the case with Feb collection of the GST. And of course, I'll show you the data so that you can get that thing. Mahakumbh got over in the month of Feb, and there's a tweet from the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. There was a one boatman, he made crores of rupee in last 45 days by ferrying what we call devotees from one place to another place. So Mahakumbh has given a huge stimulus to the, what is it, 1.5 lakh crore, is it 2 lakh crore, 2.5 lakh crore, 3 lakh crore? Let's not go into that debate, because no one has an exact handle on how many unique pilgrimage visited Mahakumbh, and number one. And number two, what has been the average spend by each pilgrimage. Crude oil price, I said, has come down. There are two benefits that comes to it. The pressure on inflation goes down, and at the same time pressure on rupee versus dollar also goes down, because we don't need that much dollar to buy crude. International, there were many events that took place. I don't want to go into that now, because everything in international is Trump and tariff. ये दो चीजें टूटी is making giving a lot of headache to the investors. And I must tell you upfront, I know you people may have a questions for me. No one has a clear-cut handle how it will happen, what will happen, what are the implications of that. किसको कुछ नहीं मालूम. Everyone is groping in the dark. Whether this tariff is going to remain also or not. There was a tariff, and then somewhere post-market I was in the US, statement coming in, that Trump may review it. So, how do we basically budget this kind of a situation? But the fact of the life is that there is a tariff. Eventually, there will be a fatigue of the tariff. कहाँ पे होगा, कैसे होगा? 2nd April, we keep hearing very now and then from the US for the tariff. Whether that's happening, not happening, we need to wait and watch. Advanced decline ratio, which I was talking about. Can you see the 3rd month in a row we have seen decline 1.1, and look at this, advanced decline. So it's a very good indicator. Since September, only 1 month we had seen advanced decline ratio more than 1, and this is 0.72. I know it must be many months low. I don't have the data readily available with me, but it must be many months low of 0.72. That gives an idea how poor the market sentiment was in February. If you look at the market cap, is the data visible on the left hand side? This data? Okay. We were in Feb 2024, we were at 385 lakh crore market cap. In Feb 2025, we are again at 385 lakh crore. So if you look at it, there is no growth in last 1 year. Of course, there is been in between. But when you look at the point to point, the market cap of India has grown nowhere. This is despite the fact that in last 12 months, record number of IPOs came out. Those companies got listed, and yet you don't see the impact on that on the market cap. And the reason is very simple. Heavy selling, which has taken place in the market, that basically pushes down the prices, and due to that, our market cap has been really struggling. If you look at the average cash turnover, which I was talking about, 1.52 lakh crore in June, the election month. 1.39, 1.25, 1.21, 1.06, 1. It went up a little bit in December, again 96 and 91. We are still much better than what it was there a couple of years back. Why? Because 91,000 itself is not a bad number. But there is and that shows the level of activity in the market, not only from institutional investors, but also from the prop books and also from the retail investors. We are at 91,661 average daily cash turnover on the NSE. How did the market, which indices performed the best? Nifty Finance and Bank Nifty. Marginal down 2.5%, that's a Bank Nifty, and Nifty Finance 0.83. Of course, Nifty Metal also did well, 2.15. Again today, Nifty Metal did well, probably because of China's stimulus which has been announced. But as I was talking about Sensex and Nifty, closer to 6%, mid cap 10, and small cap 13. Nifty Realty continued its underperformance, and somewhere IT sector has come under heavy selling pressure. There are indications coming from that some of the banks in the US are re-evaluating their IT budgets. What impact it could have, we don't know. And what impact even the AI could have, we don't know. That was on the indices level. If you look at the Nifty 50, and you can see this trend, very clearly. Despite market was so bad, Shriram Finance was up by 13.5. Bajaj Finance was up by 8.2. Bajaj Finserv by 7.8, and so on and so forth. Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, some of this bank, of course, company we do own in our PMS portfolio for quite some time. The limited point I wanted to convey to you, all of you, is that somewhere that NBFC and banks did extremely well during this bad time. Look at this: Shriram, NBFC, Bajaj Finance, NBFC, Bajaj Finserv, NBFC, Axis Bank, banks, HDFC Bank, and Kotak Mahindra Bank. So you can get an idea about what's happening there. On the other end, if you look at the company which has done relatively bad, is of course TCS is down by 15%. Tata Motors been struggling to report growth, is down by 13%. The consumption basket, Titan, which was down by 11.8%. But there are mixture of PSU. Tata Group definitely has, 4 companies in this. Trent, TCS, Tata Motor, Titan are basically down in double digits. So it's not that everything was red, but at the same time, there were few greens. The point I was to convey by this is that your stock selection in 2025 has to be of the paramount importance. If you are not able to select the right company, your loss could be very huge. But if you are able to select the right company, despite market being volatile, you can still make decent money. And of course, 1 month doesn't define anything. I'm saying as a year, 2025 as a year. So stock selection will assume a lot of significance in 2025. How is overall market performed? Nifty Metal is up by 0.41. That's the only index which is in the green. Of course, finance and bank Nifty positive, not positive, but outperform the benchmark. And mid and small cap are down by 14 and almost 19%. Of course, it's recovered something because it was once upon a time it was down by 20%, more than 20%. And the mid cap is down by almost 15%. FIIs, as I was talking about, 78,000 crore in January, another round of heavy selling of 34,000 crore. And due to that, in last, 5 or 4 months or something, they sold more than 2 lakh crore. 94, 21, 78, 34, and some positive of 15,000, which is very marginal as compared to what they've been selling in the market. DII has been very, very strong, almost pumping in 65,000 crore. So if you look at the DII versus the FPI, I think not a single one DII basically sold in the market. But there have been quite rate that you can see font on this side of the chart. That's on the left-hand side of the chart. But anyway, the DII have been giving a lot of support during this bad time. Now, on one hand, Trump was supposed to be good for the market. Trump was supposed to be good for the bitcoins. Trump was supposed to be good for the US dollar. Till now, it doesn't working out to be the case. S&P 500 was down 1.42 in February. Dow Jones was down by almost 1.5%, more than 1.5%. Nasdaq was down by almost 4%. Of course, we also went down in Feb 5%, 8.5%. The March, if you look at it, more times it basically moves up. But the gains are not so very significant in last 4 or 5 years. I would not be surprised if we see some gains coming in for the month of March. Why? Because the Jan and Feb has been extremely brutal for the market. So there could be some relief rally that could come, and that I'm little positive right now that we might close month of March, that is March 2025, in green. But let's wait and watch. GDP has been good, which has got announced 6.2. So after touching 5.4, we are 6.2, and the fourth quarter is expected to be better for the market. Talking about GST collection, 9.5% Y on Y, 1.84 versus 1.68. Having said that, there has been a marginal decline from 1.96 to 1.84 month on month. But I don't think we should look at month on month for the very simple reason because there are some seasonality which is attached. Even in the last Feb, 1.72 become 1.68. So let's not read too much into that seasonality. So let's compare Y on Y and almost 9.5%. It's a good GST collection number. Vehicle sales have been really very, very bad. That shows the pain in the consumption basket. And if you look at the four-wheeler, that's a car, 3.74 versus 5.75 last year same time. 35% decline. So one hope that, the marriage season and so on and so forth, somehow some preempt that what we call the in advancement that the thing has been bought. But I think overall the things are now falling back very badly. That's what it looks like right now. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Uh, Rupee, as I told you, has gained by 0.3 in last 1 month, zero point 0.2 point. YTD we are down by 1.7, and last 1 year, rupee depreciated by 5% against the dollar. I think we need to focus on last 1 month because no one knows whether, like the general perception has been that rupee has been depreciating. When last 1 month is marginally up. And if you look at the crude oil, which was $80.2 for January, there's an Indian crude oil basket, came down to 77, and it's on first few days of March, it's at 70.7, which has not been seen in last 1 year or so, which is a very good thing for India. But somewhere our positiveness doesn't get this one. A lot of you people had asked me about the bitcoins. And I still don't understand. And in fact, there was a debate happening in the US also that some of this currency can be put as a reserve currency. How it will work, and of course, it defines those currencies also, cryptocurrency also. We need to wait and watch. But in the month of Feb, the Bitcoin was down by 18%. Am I right? Now, can you stomach that kind of a volatility in this one? तो जो basic assumptions था ना कि ट्रम्प आएगा तो ये हो जाएगा, that has not really played out. What should be a strategy now? If possible, ignore tariff news. It's extremely difficult कि क्या हो रहा है. सुबह हाँ होगा, दोपहर को होल्ड होगा, शाम को ना होगा. Don't know. You can't basically create your portfolio based on this kind of a tariff news. जहाँ पे कभी खुशी, कभी गम. One cannot do it. Now, one of the ways you can do that, which again I said it today in my CNBC Bazaar interview, was focus on domestic thing. And that's where the chances of tariff impact could be minimal. In some cases, it could be positive also. So focus on that. Bank of Japan. We never discuss about Bank of Japan in our presentation because हमारे लिए Fed था, RBI था. हमारे लिए मेरे लिए मैंने कभी डाला नहीं था. But now it assumes significance. 18th and 19th March, Bank of Japan is meeting, and it could create a volatility. Why? I will explain you. The yen, which was quoting at 160 per dollar, that means you need $160 of yen to buy $1, has appreciated to 150 or so. The rate of interest in Japan has started moving up. Previously, what used to happen? Because to boost the economy, there was a negative rate of interest in the Japan. So a lot of people used to borrow in yen to invest in US bond yield, which is the safest. You were getting two advantages. One advantage is that you are borrowing at almost zero. Second thing, the currency depreciates of yen. So when you want to repay the loan, you need less amount of dollar to repay the same amount of yen. As I was saying, yen appreciated from 160 to 150, so that calculation goes out of the window. And second thing, Bank of Japan is hiking the rate of interest. So this could create some amount of a problem that you should be aware about it. Once you are aware, then the shock value is a little less. But if you are not aware, then shock value goes up. I know we lost focus on what is announced in the budget. People are forgetting that the benefit of budget is still not kick in. Why it's not kick in? Because the benefit that's going to come in is going to come from next financial year. So when people will receive their salary for the month of April, they will have a tax benefit coming in. Number one. Number two, on an average, India is going to give 9.5% kind of a hike. That will also kick in. So those who are salaried employee, two bonanza are waiting for them. One is that actual increment in salary, and on that higher salary, they would be paying less tax. So I understand we don't have a guts to put money. But despite that, I'm saying if you have money, please use this as a good sentiment, a poor sentiment to put more money. Yes, mid and small cap, there will be more pain. And hence your stock selection has to be extremely careful. If you don't know what company does, what kind of product they have, what kind of future plans they have, please read those annual report, con call, PPT, some interviews given by the management, either to the news channel or to the other media, print media. But take a very, very, very conscious decision or decision with knowledge. Otherwise, you may end up having another Vakrangi or another PC jeweler in your portfolio. This is a time not to move out of the market. This is a time to get into the market in case if you are still waiting on the sideline or on the fence. With mental calculation that yes, my 10 lakhs can become 9 lakhs or can become 8 lakhs. But when I fast forward this 1 year down the line, despite that downturn, I will be making a decent gain from the equity. Let's open the floor for question answer. और मुझे आज fearful वाले क्वेश्चन ज़्यादा पुश होगा तो जो वो पूछ लेना भाई. Namaste Sunil sir, Suhas is saying on the basis of strong Q4 last year, is it likely that the Q4 numbers may not be up to the expectation? If so, do you feel that market really, if any, will sustain? So I think what market will try to understand, not Q4 numbers as such, but how companies are trying to navigate the new tariff war. And that's going to decide the trajectory of the market. So if we assume that numbers are good also, but the commentary is weak, market will not be able to sustain. So I think we need to focus more on, my sense is that IT companies may not come out with a very good commentary. Some of the FMCG companies might come out with a good commentary. If you look at it, this is one thing which I've observed. So normally, I stay very close to this office. I come by car, despite it's a walking distance, I come by, that's a bad thing, but I'm admitting that I'm doing a bad thing. So I don't happen to see people what they are doing. But, sometime during the day, I do go out for walk. And invariably have seen people drinking cold drink. दिख रहा है मुझे. And I've been observing also. आजकल तो छोटी बड़ी, I don't drink any cold drinks. I'm not promoting any cold drinks. Sorry, I don't drink only. So my point to all of you is that some of this consumption basket will come out with a good commentary. Especially those who are focused on the summer side of the business. Whether it's an air conditioner, whether it's a pankha, fan company, whether it's a refrigerator, whether it's a water cooler, whether it's a cold drink, I think they are going to come out with this. At the same time, the heat is going to be bad, the recovery could be little less. in terms of bank loans and small ticket size loan and so on and so forth. Auto sales could get an impact. Why? People may not be able to, because last time we have seen, because of heat waves, a lot of auto companies gave a statement that the footfall to their dealership was little less. And of course, we will also come to know what is expected this season of the rainfall. So I think market will look at this kind of a cue, and of course tariff was definitely one. So don't give too much importance right now on the Q4 numbers. FY 2026, the Nifty 50 EPS is expected to be near about 1,200 rupees. Plus 10 rupees here and there, plus and minus. We need to sustain 1,200, there is a downward revision for that. And that's what we need to understand. So I don't think we should... Q4 is a number, I'm not disputing. I think focus more on the commentary and of course the global events. As I said, the Bank of Japan, which is going to meet in the mid of March also, can have a volatility aspect coming in. Rajkumar, Namaskar, come across Krishna, kindly guide if all following options are equally safe. If not, what is the order of safe investment and reasons thereof? FILD more than 15%, holding more than 50% stock, and in the rest, promoters, funds, and individual. Promoters are holding around 80%, and in the rest, FI funds and individual. There are no promoter, but 100% held by FI funds, big investors, and why? I'm not very clear, sir, what question, Rajkumarji, you are asking me. I am absolutely confused. Are you saying this? There are three set of companies, if that's what I've understood, and pardon me if I've got it wrong. FI holding more than 50% stock, and the rest is the promoters, funds, and individuals. Is this the safe investment scenario? That's what we are saying, or is it the promoters are holding around 80%, the rest by FI money, and that's a safe company to invest in? Or there are no promoter 100% owned by the FI. Is this the safe investment? Is that, if I have understood your question? Sir, आपका thought process is wrong है. What percentage is owned by the promoters? What percentage is owned by the FI? What percentage is owned by the mutual fund? Can never be the starting point to invest in any company. आपका डायरेक्शन ही गलत है, और जब आपका डायरेक्शन गलत होता है क्या होता है, यू विल नेवर एवर टू रीच योर डेस्टिनेशन, बिकॉज आपको जाना है नॉर्थ में, लेकिन आप साउथ के डायरेक्शन में जाओगे, कितने भी स्पीड से जाओ आप पहुंच ही नहीं पाओगे नॉर्थ में. एंड सेम वे इफ यू विश टू गो टू साउथ एंड इफ योर डायरेक्शन इज इन नॉर्थ, वॉटर में भी द स्पीड, यू विल स्टिल नॉट बी एबल टू रीच योर डेस्टिनेशन. नेवर एवर, एंड नॉट ओनली टू यू राजकुमार जी बट अदर्स, दोज हु आर अटेंडिंग वेबिनार ऑल्सो, नेवर एवर your investment decision should be function of what is the shareholding pattern. Your investment in the company should be function of what is its future outlook. How good or the bad the management is. That's how you should, the starting point should be. So Rajkumar sir, ये तीनों सिनेरियो बहुत ही रिस्की है, कोई सेफ नहीं है. But I want to convey much larger point. When you decide to come to equity market, you should take risk. There is nothing called safe investment in the equity market. The best of the best blue chip company will go down and can go down. So you should take calculated risk, and then only you should come with the market. You should have a stomach to see 10%, 20% decline in the portfolio, then only you should come to the equity market. If you can't stomach the volatility, equity is not an asset class for you, period. And hence, because you asked me safer investment and reason thereof, I thought let me harp on this point. In case if I understood your question wrong, please put it. Amil ja bata dena mujhe. Sunil Kumar, sir, you people still remember that prediction of Nifty to hit 19, which could not materialize last year, may come true this year. What is your new ideas? Sir, again I am repeating. ये निफ्टी 19,000 के चक्कर में बहुत लोगों ने इन्वेस्ट ही नहीं किया मार्केट में. Now in a hindsight looks some turns out to be good because market नीचे चला गया. But 2025 में I was really feeling bad because a lot of customers came and say, अरे सर आपका तो निफ्टी 50 का जो 19,000 का बॉटम था वो आया नहीं. We were still waiting for that to happen. So I realized one big mistake which I made. I'm not going to go about trying to predict how much, where the bottom could be. These are all guesstimate. There is no scientific formula that I have with me that I can say with precisely it can go to 19,000. Of course, year 2023, my prediction was came absolutely dot on with 15,000. And yes, a lot of people appreciated that. In 2024, it went basically haywire. I must tell you one thing. You are not investing in the Nifty 50. You are investing in the good quality stocks which may or may not be part of the Nifty 50. Focus, instead of trying to find out where would Nifty 50 would go, try to focus on good quality company which is available at the good valuations. I'll give a very simple example. And I give live example because that's where my conviction also comes in. If I've told one company I'm buying, whenever market goes down, I keep order in that company, maybe 10 rupees gap, 15 rupees gap, 20 rupees gap or something. I keep reorder with the same quantity with various points on time. Day before yesterday, I bought in वो भाव में आया. Today in one day, that company has bounced back very significantly. Market का जो होना था. But my focus was on the company. So somewhere we need to basically move away from the market, overall market, because ultimately your portfolio is a function of what you hold in the portfolio. Of course, when market goes down, your portfolio also go down, no doubt about it. The stress test that you need to do with your portfolio that how soon my portfolio can bounce back and how quickly that. And that's where you need to all focus on. If the company is good, it will bounce back. There is nothing which is going to stop you from doing that. Am I right? So my worry is that don't try to see whether 19,000 hoga ke nahi hoga. Don't go in that direction only, na sir. Focus on company that can make money for me. Not in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Whose fundamental stories are intact. Promoters are good. And management has a vision to create wealth for the shareholders. So keep it simple. And I think you will make a lot of money, Sunil Kumar. वो राजकुमार ने पूछा कुछ सवाल जो था उनका कुछ आया. ओके ठीक है. राहुल कुमार, investors still putting their money in stock markets and there is no panic selling mutual fund in terms of price and therefore hard to believe that it can't fall further. Your views please. Rahul Kumar sir, I am not saying it will not fall further. I again repeat, 10 lakhs invest किया, mentally be prepared, it can go to 9 lakhs, it can go to 8 lakhs. Mentally prepared. Market can, I don't know where the bottom is. If अगर मुझे पता होता ना bottom कहाँ पे, top कहाँ पे है, I would not be coming in front of you. मैं इतना पैसा बना लिया था कि I would be owning some island, some in a beautiful exotic location, enjoying my life. It's not that I'm not enjoying my life now, but just to give a perspective. So somewhere we need to understand, sir, market, there could be a pain in the market. And today that pain could come not from domestic news flow, it can come from the international news flow, which where you and me have no control over it. Neither this government of India has any control over it. So be mentally prepared कि market और गिर सकता है. I am going to construct my portfolio of company that I like it. Yes, it can go down, so be it. Maybe if I have money, I'll buy more of that. But don't be in an under assumption that market cannot fall from here. It can fall. Because we have no control over what Trump is going to make statement. Today we need to navigate the global challenges as compared to domestic challenges. Now I think you must have got confused with my statement that March should see a positive gain. That may be only for 1 month. I'm not saying that the pain is over. In fact, there is a more pain in the mid and small cap. And I think that will be, in fact, I have a very bad habit of reading con call, listening to con call. I have a bad habit of reading annual reports. मैं पढ़ता रहता हूँ. When I look at some of the companies, those who are stocking or statements and what kind of values they are commanding, I'm really surprised myself. Who is willing to pay that kind of a premium to those kind of a company? Do they really merit that kind of a what we call valuation they were commanding once upon a time, and now they're also commanding. Still they are commanding. Despite correction, they're still commanding. Poor ROE. Margins are falling. Companies making profit, but operating cash flow from operations is negative. And yet those companies are commanding price to sales of 8 times, price to earning of 70 times. Do they really deserve? So there is a pain in the market, but more so in the medium small cap, and I don't know what's happening in the SME space. So in case if you want to venture there also, please be careful. Many of the SME may not be remaining in the public domain also, maybe in next 3 to 5 years. There's easy money, lot of speculation happening in the SME segment. Lot of governance issue has been thrown out of the window. People overlook the governance because the paisa jaldi ban raha, quick ban raha tha. So be careful with that. Prithviraj sir saying, did market coming back? What is suggestion of model portfolio? Shall we keep adding till or watch? Prithviraj sir, if you have money, please add money to the model portfolio. Again I said, repeat. 10 लाख मेंटली भी प्रिपेयर, 9 लाख भी हो सकता है, 8 लाख भी हो सकता है. But वो same 10 lakh in March 2026 will be higher than what it is right now, despite touching 9 lakhs and 8 lakhs. The market history suggests that every crisis in the market gives you a good opportunity to make money. You should never ever let go crisis. So please, if you have money, please put it in the model portfolio. Model portfolio is a beautiful way to put money if you are not an HNI investor. If you are an HNI investor, we have a PMS. But if you don't have a 50 lakhs, please use model portfolio, because model portfolio, the beauty is that it tells you when to exit. It also tells you what next to be bought. It also gives you how much you need to buy of each company. Otherwise, what would happen in a good company, you will have a less allocation. In a bad company, you can have a higher allocation if you are doing stock picking. And that basically give you suboptimal returns. So model portfolio is the right thing to do, sir. Please, having said that, do not borrow money and put money in the equity market. I must put that caveat also. Tushar, Euro, Germany yields are scaling all-time high. Bond investors even into a level losing money. What is causing yield to spike? How do you see inverted curve of 210? Is bond market telling something which we are overlooking? So Tushar, sir, the bond market gives a good indicator of what's happening or what could happen going forward. My request to you should everyone that please look at what is happening in the bond market, yield market. In fact, US bond yield has come down. In fact, it was quite high, 4.5. I think it's come down to 4.1 or something. It's come down, but of course you should keep watching on this. There was one theory which is playing out right now, and that's one of the reasons the dollar index has come down. That monies have started flowing to the euro market because euro is going to spend more, and hence people have started believing that Europe can. Second thing, the complete euro, I think, is willing to take on Trump. Despite we all know that Ukraine guy has been had to leave in a hurry the White House. And normally what used to happen when the US is not in with some one guy, the complete Europe would mimic very similar to what US did. But this time for a change, and not only Europe, even the UK, which is a part of the Europe, basically supported Ukraine. So I think somewhere that some kind of a realignment is happening in the world. Of course, a developing story to Sarji. Let us see for next couple of months to make a very conclusive evidence right now. But definitely bond yield many times gives you a good indication of what is stored in the near future. And one must always look at it, what's happening in the bond yield. Pramanik, good evening, sir. I would like to understand from your personal point of view on current Indian equity market in following scenario. What is the probability of Nifty touching 21,000 downfall with your justification? Probability is definitely there, sir. There is no doubt about it. Remember, sir, try to understand this market is getting swayed not by the domestic fundamental factors. The market is getting dominated by the international factors where you, me, and no one has a control over. What is the probability of Nifty taking 20,000 in downfall with your justification? Thanks. Sir, 20,000 भी हो सकता है, 21,000 हो सकता है, someone asked me 19,000. All things are possible scenario. Will I look at this scenario not to invest in the market? The answer is no. This is all the probability. It may happen, it may not happen. There is nothing called surety. Again, I repeat for benefit of everyone. If you have money, please use these dips available in the market to put more. If you're a little worried, divide into 2 or 3 installments, whatever gives you comfort level. But never ever try to time the market to the perfection. I must tell you, rebound as and when it will come, it would be sharp. Jot down my words. It would be sharp. And once you have seen the bottom, you will not have guts to put at the higher prices. Then your mind will play a trick with you. नहीं वो इंडेक्स आएगा, ये तो गलती से चल गया मार्केट, आएगा नीचे आएगा. You will keep waiting on the fence, and that fate will become frustrating for you. So, sir, don't go into that theory of 21,000, 20,000, 19,000. Please, please, please. What matters is my portfolio, what stocks I own, and what allocation I did to the stock. With mental preparation, yes, I'm willing to see 10% decline, I'm willing to see 20% decline, but I know in my heart that what I've got in my portfolio is going to do well. So by March 2026, my portfolio will be at a much healthier level than what it is right now, despite seeing the fall maybe of 10% or 20%. If you ask me very honestly, even today I don't know what is the Nifty 50 level. So when you ask me वो 21,000 जाएगा क्या, तो even मुझे पता नहीं वो लेवल क्या है. Is it, what is the level of Nifty 50? Let me see. आप लोग यार मेरे पास जो आदमी मार्केट ही देखता नहीं उसको आप बोलते हो. एक मिनट, let me see now since you ask me It's also gives me this one, that where are we? So Nifty 50 is at 22,337. So if you are looking at 21,000, so we are talking about 5% decline from here, about 5%. It's possible हो सकता है. 5% कोई बड़ी चीज़ नहीं है मार्केट में, हो सकता है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट विल गो, आई एम सेइंग हो सकता है. Probability is there. Jacob Joss, at the beginning of this presentation, you said 10% will be 150 by March 2000, irrespective of what happens in the immediate future. What would be the trigger for massive up move? So I don't know that what could be the trigger. It could be that tariff war completely fizzling out. It could be the Indian economy start doing extremely well because of stimulus given by the budget. It could be that India start doing capex cycle. It could be the inflation coming down because of rate of interest start coming down. Or it could be individual, it could be combination of factors. But the reason I'm saying 100 invested could be 150 by March 2000 because the many companies values are corrected very significantly. And that gives me that even if the market is to again go back to the same level, what it was there in the month of September, we'll still say the 150. That's where I'm coming from. Because the company, I'll give you a very classical example of mine, okay? The one company, during Murat time, I bought it 1100, okay? Yesterday something I bought it 750 or so, if I remember, it sounds me right actually. Okay? मतलब उस कंपनी में वापस वो 1100 आएगा तो मेरा 150 हो गया. I don't know, it could go to 600 also. So that's how I'm looking at the market. You know, that's how I'm looking at the scenario of the market and trying to see what happens actually. So today it's above 100 to 800 rupees today, as I was looking at it now. So that's how I look at, that's why I'm saying 100 can become 150 and it could be function of any other things. But ultimately what matters is the stock ka fundamental story is good or not. And if that is so, it will happen. The management will come out good commentary. The competition may fizzle out because the poor management will not be able to stomach the volatility. They will go out and the incumbent players will become more stronger because the strong company knows how to navigate that. So there could be any other reasons, many reasons that could happen. Right now, so 100 may not, I'm not saying 100 will become exactly 150. What I wish to give you the direction. It could be 120 also, it could be 130 also, it could be 140 also. What I wish to tell you is that despite it can go down, you will still make 20-30% return if you invest now. That's what the limited point I wish to convey in directionally. Madhusudan sir, you are asking us to focus on companies catering to local market. Even those companies are going down faster than companies which are export oriented. Yes sir. So Madhusudan sir, in our Gujarati, there is a saying say, Suka sathe lilu bade. Okay, what it means is that when you put Suka matlab the dry and lilu matlab wet. So you know, in the forest, when there is a fire and you put the dry leaf on the fire because you know so that you can dispose it off, sometimes it can catches fire to the tree also. That happens, am I right? So something similar is happening right now. The sentiments are so bad, so poor, that some of the good quality companies are also coming down, which are even domestic focus also. The question is not who has fallen. The question that you need to ask Madhusudan sir is that which one will lead the rally? Which sector will lead the rally? And that's the question. So you should ask. It has fallen? Yes, it has fallen. But can it bounce back and can it bounce back faster than others? That's how you should reassess and that's how you should make a strategy. So that's why I said your strategy in 2025 should be very fine. 2023-24 में आपको कोई अक्ल लगाने की जरूरत नहीं पैसा बनाने के लिए. In fact, in 2023-2024, retail investors made more money than the professional fund manager. But 2025 में आपको अक्ल लगाने की जरूरत पड़ेगी. And that's where you need to find out which domestic company that you should have in your portfolio to create wealth for yourself. That's how we should look at it. तो अभी export oriented चल रहा है because tariff is still not kick in. Sometimes market may wait in the hope that tariff होगा नहीं होगा, and that could be the reason why export oriented company must have done reasonably well as compared to the domestic focus company. पर ऐसा थोड़ी ना कि सभी डोमेस्टिक फोकस कंपनी अच्छा करेगी और सभी एक्सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड कंपनी खराब करेगी. दैट्स आल्सो नॉट आई एम सेइंग, आई एम गिविंग ए जनरल स्टेटमेंट. आई होप दैट मेक्स इट क्लियर. सो आर वी रन आउट ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस और इज इट बिकॉज ऑफ टाइम? लास्ट 5 क्वेश्चंस, 1 2 3 4 5. आमिर मस्ट बी कर्सिंग में कि ये आदमी लंबा करता है, कि उसको बहुत दूर जाना पता आमिर को यहाँ से. आमिर आप कहाँ पे? विरार में हो ना? तो विरार, दोज हु आर लिटिल नॉट अवेयर अबाउट मुंबई, विरार इज ऑलमोस्ट कितना 60 किलोमीटर्स अवे फ्रॉम हियर. 660 kilometers he has to travel now, and it takes near about what, 1.5 hours?
Yes, sir.
1 hour 45 minutes, because he also stays a little farther from the railway station. So उसको तो समझ के चलो, even if he lives now, he will reach home not before 10 in the night. Okay, Vinay, should we buy? मेरे लिए अच्छा है because I am just a walking distance, but I really feel pity for him. Should we buy ETFs which contains a basket of companies? Will they not rebound faster? So ETF is nothing but the index, am I right? So if you know that this index will do well, maybe you basically buy that index ETF. That's very simple. Yeah, that's not a bad strategy. But suppose if you buy ETF for those sectors which are not going to do well, then the market may go up, but that ETF will not go up because the underlying stocks which has not done well. Na? So you have to be very careful what you are getting into when you buy ETF. Deepa Patel, dear Sunil sir, as per your advice, we have been cautious with mid and small cap stocks. However, following the mergers recognition over the past year, we bought several mid and small caps. Now, many of them are showing undersell or strong sell signals. Could you please advise how to proceed with this? Ma'am, you need to get out of that. If our IP suggests that there are sell and strong sell, please follow our IP in a very disciplined manner. That's how. Whether it's a mid cap, whether it's a small cap, whether it's a large cap, this logic applies to all market cap. If it is a sell and strong sell, please follow our IP in a very, very clear-cut manner. There should not be any ambiguity. And this logic should not apply to only mid and small cap. It also applies to large cap. So if the company which we recommended buy has turned out to be a sell, now has become tail, please get out of those companies. Harshat Kale sir, how should we interpret average cash turnover? Can I request you to do a special webinar on NBFC, please? We can do. What is average is nothing but sir, जितने दिन ट्रेडिंग हुआ मार्केट में उसको तो उसका टोटल करो, उसको डिवाइड बाय नंबर ऑफ डेज कर दो, हो गया एवरेज कैश टर्नओवर. तो अगर आज 1 लाख हुआ, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग देयर ओनली 2 days in a month. I'm just giving an example, okay? Now it's a stupid example, but let me say that. एक दिन हुआ 1 लाख करोड़, दूसरे दिन हुआ 50,000 करोड़. What is the average daily turnover? 1 lakh plus 50 is 1.5 lakh. Number of days कितने थे? 2 थे. Divide by 2, which gives me 75,000. And NBFC, I don't know sir how many people are interested in that. If more and more people are interested, I may consider it. Otherwise, जब आपका level of interest कम होता है, it makes little sense. I don't like addressing very few people in a webinar. So if more number of people want me to do NBFC, I'll be more than happy to do that. Nagesh sir, if market crash like this, when FIs might have sold just 5% of the holding, what will happen? They sell even 50%. Sir, hypothetically, आप जो बोल रहे हो सकता है 50%. Let me give you some perspective so that you can understand. Total FPI investment in India mark to market is 78 lakh crore as on 31st December 2024. मार्च 2025 का डेटा अभी तक आया नहीं है. नाउ दैट 78 लाख करोड़ में से उन्होंने 2 लाख करोड़ बेचा, which gives me less than 3% being sold by the FPI. It's not even touch 5%, I must tell you. Assume that FPIs decide to sell 50% of this one. Don't you think the balance 50% value will not remain 50% but can become 20% only? Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Because there will be mark-to-market loss will come into picture. So I don't think, sir, hypothetically this is possible, but I don't see that possibility even happening of 0.01% of FPI selling 50% of what they are holding. But कोई crisis है क्या इंडिया में? That they will come, get out of stock, lock, stock and barrel. India is still the fastest growing economy in the world. Crude oil prices still come down, which is good for the India. The GST collection is still closer to 10%. India is still growing, they are not degrowing. Pace of growth has come down, but still growing. Retail trade is still strong. 40,000 crore आप लोग every month डाल रहे हो कि नहीं डाल रहे हो? Which is nothing but 5 lakh crore on an average. Annualize करूँगा तो उसको. तो दिक्कत कहाँ पे मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आता 50 को क्यों बेचेंगे और वो क्या पागल है क्या? Because balance 50% will become 20% only then. Yeah. Sunil Bhai, stock selection is the key in a statement, very easy to understand, but to identify a stock and keep monitoring them while we are preoccupied our day-to-day job business is easier said than done. I fully agree with you, sir. It is required lot of efforts, lot of reading, lot of understanding about the market. See, many times even, I need to struggle. I'll be very honest with you. I'll give you a classic example. I'm talking with one management tomorrow. I have a con call with that customer management. This company is into fertilizer. So even I was trying to understand what are the sizes of fertilizer. Like we have urea on one side. What is the size of that in India in terms of rupees crore? Then you have a DAP. Then you have a NPK. Then you have a super sulfate and so on and so forth. What is the size of each one? In fact, I was going backward and trying to understand the difference between DAP and NPK. What are the raw materials required to manufacture DAP and what are the raw materials required to manufacture NPK? Whether those raw materials are available in India and if yes, to what extent? For example, to manufacture DAP, you need rock phosphate and then you need sulfuric acid. Is it available? Not available. From that rock phosphate and sulfuric, you make phosphoric acid. That is available if you are not going further backwards. With phosphoric acid and then ammonia, you can manufacture DAP. So you need to understand that kind of, then what is the subsidy available on the, how often government of India has revised those subsidy. So it's not easy to understand stock selection. You need to go in a great detail. You not only need to read that same company, the con call and the annual report, you need to also read the company's con call and the annual report to understand what is the consistency the management is talking about it. So it's not easy, I agree with you. Even if you observe the market with IP, a lot of scripts are very strong buy, hold is just few months ago, now sell, thereby resulting in the grade of the portfolio. So please guide a mere mortals how to play this. Very simple. RB sir, I don't know your full name. You've just put RB, so I'll put your RB sir. Please follow IP in a very disciplined manner. Like, give you 2 examples. 2 stock of the month, which was recommended less than 6 months, have become sell in our system. We exited that. If you are a paid subscriber, You would have received an exit call also from us in last couple of days. So stock selection is a function of our IP. And if it says got out, get out. Simple. Because you have to have one philosophy and one theory. And then you have to follow that theory and philosophy consistently. वो बोलते हैं ना ट्रैफिक में आपको कभी कोई एक लाइन ज़्यादा पहले चलती है, कभी दूसरी लाइन चलती है, तेज चलती है. If you keep switching from one line to another, meanwhile you will get stuck. But if you follow one line consistently, probability is very high that you will reach the same time or maybe a little earlier than the guy who was switching the length here and there. तो same way IP है, follow करो उसको disciplined manner में. Yes, if they become sale, please get out of that. Buy a new company based on the same IP. And that's how you do. But I think stock selection is easier said than done. Even I fail many times. I'll be very honest with you. I must tell you also, when I select 10 stocks, many times my stock selection also goes haywire. Company सालों साल तक नहीं चलती है वो company. Despite the story remains very, very strong. What would you do? Either if the story is same, you continue to hold because you still believe the story is there. And I given one chemical company example, so many years I have continued to hold and eventually made money for me. But that's where you need to have the faith in that. So I think stock selection is a very, very difficult thing. It's not easy. In fact, Warren Buffett has said that even if he's able to find one multi-bagger in 6 years, he's considered himself as lucky. प्रॉब्लम हमारा क्या है, हमारा एक्सपेक्टेशन क्या है, हमको एवरी डे मल्टी-बैगर चाहिए, एवरी वीक चाहिए मल्टी-बैगर, एवरी मंथ चाहिए मल्टी-बैगर, एवरी साल चाहिए मल्टी-बैगर. वो प्रैक्टिकली नहीं है ना. एंड आवर स्टॉक सिलेक्शन हैज़ टू बी मल्टी-बैगर. दैट्स अनदर प्रॉब्लम विथ अस. कितने हुए? सब हो गए, पाँचों पाँच. Okay, so thanks a lot. I know you have more questions, but in the interest of the time, we need to conclude this webinar. In fact, I was just thinking now, just a thought process. I don't know whether it makes sense or not. Should we start webinar on 6:30 so that even if we extend, it will not get extended beyond 8. So please give your suggestion. Please give your recommendation. If more people are fine with that, maybe we can have a webinar not for 1 hour, for 1.5 hours, starting at 6:30 and we stretch it till 8. More than happy to receive your feedback and based on that we'll take a call. Good night, take care. Tomorrow I'm in front of our PMS customer with our monthly report card. If you are a PMS customer, please come and do join me tomorrow at 7 p.m. Others, see you next week.